This benevolent man adopted 1,000 children. He lured the children to a dry well, claiming it was a game. In reality, he sealed the well's opening and quietly left. Not long after, a subway construction crew arrived. Completely unaware, they filled in the well directly to meet their deadline. The children were thus buried alive inside. After the subway station was built, strange incidents kept occurring there. That night, a college student waiting for the subway heard crying sounds and had his head severed. What follows is even more terrifying. Jack spotted a man on the surveillance monitor walking on the track. The train was about to arrive at the station. Jack quickly ran to the platform and shouted at him, but the man remained standing on the tracks. Jack had no choice but to jump onto the platform to stop him, but by then, the train was already speeding toward them. The man was instantly pulverized into pieces. The forensic examiner arrived at the scene. The scene was horrific. The man's remains were scattered everywhere. Suddenly, the forensic examiner discovered a little girl under the stairs. She was hiding in the shadows. No matter how the examiner questioned her, she wouldn't speak. She only produced a card with numbers on it. Just then, the examiner's colleague called out to him. When the examiner returned, the girl had vanished, but several scratch marks had appeared on his hands. After the recent danger, Jack was completely stunned. He left the restroom after washing his face. At that moment, his colleague happened to come out. While washing his hands, he actually saw a set of numbers on the glass. Then, he involuntarily read them aloud. Meanwhile, news reporter Sally discovered that the train driver had been in a daze ever since the accident. Sally immediately went to interview him, but the driver just stared blankly at the glass. Sally couldn't see anything. She only noticed the driver's body was covered in scratch marks. Sally found this strange, and asked about the wounds. The driver didn't answer and simply got up and left. Sally had no choice but to take the subway to leave, but just as she was getting off, a hand reached out from below. Sally was terrified. She immediately rushed back to the newsroom and reported the subway incident. The news quickly went viral, but just as her colleagues were congratulating Sally, her boss suddenly came over to confront her. It turned out that when she interviewed the driver was already dead. Sally was stunned by this news. She hurried to the subway station and retrieved the surveillance footage of her interview with the driver. The results showed she had been talking to thin air. Clearly, Sally had been hallucinating, but she still didn't believe it. She went to the morgue, wanting to see the driver's body with her own eyes. The driver's entire face was covered with scratch marks.